So are you moving to the Atlanta area and you want to live by the BeltLine, but your budget's in the $300K range? Well, what if I told you there is a neighborhood that I think still has a lot of potential left to it? It's right by the BeltLine, and the median sales price right now is $315,000. Yeah, you heard me right. If so, you're going to want to stick around and listen to this video. I'm going to talk about the neighborhood of South Atlanta. I'm going to show you around the neighborhood, show you some home examples, tell you what's developing around here. So stay tuned. We're going to talk all about living in South Atlanta right now. Hey guys, my name is Molly and welcome back to my channel. We're gonna get right into it. So I am in the South Atlanta neighborhood of Atlanta. If you're wondering where that is, let me put it up on a map for you. You can just see it's not very far from the downtown area. And in fact, it borders the neighborhoods of Lakewood Heights, Chosewood Park, Peoplestown, and has really quick access over to I-85. Getting around town, well, getting to the airport, 13 minutes. Downtown is 9 minutes, Midtown 11 minutes, in Buckhead 18 minutes. But don't let those times fool you, especially like Buckhead. If it's at a high traffic time of the day, that can take you a lot longer. But you know, when there's no traffic, that's kind of the commute times you're looking at. So I'm standing right in front of the Carver High School, beautiful building right here. And would you know that just on the other side of this campus, about 0.4 miles, I mapped it out, is the Atlanta BeltLine. That part is not done yet, but you could hop on that, connect over into Peoplestown, or keep going over to the west side, like over in Pittsburgh, Capitol View Manor, and Adair Park, etc. So really close access to the BeltLine, so that's really exciting. And they're even talking about putting in a spur that leads up. There's a park right here, which I'll go to in a second. It's something Memorial Park. It's a lot of words, but there's a proposed spur that kind of connects this neighborhood of South Atlanta over up to the top part of the BeltLine. So that would be exciting when that happens. You know, all this stuff takes time, so just a little FYI for you. So there are a lot of exciting developments happening nearby this neighborhood, so I'll get into those more, but I think those kind of developments are really going to spur people to consider living in South Atlanta. Now, there are people that have lived in South Atlanta for a long time. I was actually showing a home in the South Atlanta area not too long ago, and a sweet lady, she drove up as we were leaving the house, and she was like, hey, if you have any questions, let me know. I lived in this community for 25 years. I love it. She's like, you know, it's not perfect in terms of, you know, you'll see here in a little bit that it's not like all put together. There's not a lot of commercial kind of stuff here, but she's really enjoyed this area, and the price is really good right now. $315K, like I said, is the median sales price. So we'll talk more about homes and home examples and what you can get here. But first, let me just show you the park that is right nearby. It's got some playground equipment, a basketball courts, and I'll walk there next. Check out this ropes course behind me. That's pretty intimidating if I say so myself. So I'm at the northern end of the South Atlanta neighborhood. You can see the Carver High School behind me again. I kind of showed you a glimpse of this park. One thing on this northern end of this neighborhood is there are railroad tracks, and when you're trying to cross over those railroad tracks over into Peoplestown, it is bumpy. So just be aware of that. But one exciting development I wanted to talk to you about is the Terminal South development. That is on the south end of Peoplestown. It is just across the railroad tracks, 0.4 miles away, so super close. And that's going to be like a mixed-use development with a food hall. I believe the last announcement I read, they were actually going to be adding more food vendors. And that will be really exciting for this community, because that is one thing I think South Atlanta is lacking, is commercial spots to hang out, grab something to eat, some restaurants. So having this close access right by here will be huge. Now, there is one commercial spot here that is like a staple here in this neighborhood. I'm going to go and show you that here in just a second. It is community grounds and the Carver Market. So there's like a little grocery store in there, place to get coffee. I might get myself a nice coffee while I stop in there. But that is one thing, a lot of these South neighborhoods, we're lacking is a proper grocery store. It's kind of a food desert, but good news is the Publix just opened up in Summerhill. So that's probably, I'm guessing 1.5 to 2 miles away from here. So now you can go up to Summerhill, hit a Publix, and you're not having to drive for miles and miles and miles to go to a grocery store. So I just walked down from the park over to the community grounds, the Carver Community Market. I'm going to pop inside, get myself a nice coffee, but this is kind of like the staple commercial spot here in the South Atlanta area. This is right off of Jonesboro Road, which is a pretty fast moving street. But yeah, if you keep following this, you'll hit the high school that I was just at and the railroad tracks where you can cross over, get over into Peoplestown, Summerhill, that kind of thing. All right, I got my iced coffee in hand. It's really good. It's some kind of lavender flavor. Anyway, let me start showing you some home examples and so you can kind of see what you get in the neighborhood. All right, so I'm coming just off of Jonesboro Road, and like I said, it's a faster moving road, and behind me, it's not the most sightliest because there is like a scrap metal yard. There's some recycling plants right over there, so it's not the prettiest. But once you get off of that, and I will say sometimes you get a corner like this where there used to be a house and now it's vacant. This is an area, it's not 100% put together, but a lot of these southern communities, they got hit hard during the recession, and then there was a lot of disinvestment, and so it's just taking some time. But like I said, there is a lot of developments happening near this neighborhood that I think is going to give it a boost, and people are going to seek out, wherever there's like food halls, things to do, people gravitate towards that. So I mentioned the Terminal South development, and then across this street off of Jonesboro Road, a few streets over, there's going to be a big development, 40 acres, called the Sawtell development. I mentioned this in another video, but the plan is to develop that into a mixed use with retail, restaurants, living. So that will be really exciting. I think they are planning on breaking ground as of the end of this year, 2023, but things have changed, and I thought they were going to break ground a lot sooner, and it just takes a while to get all the things in motion. So that's going to be another exciting development. That was a former Ford factory plant, and now they're going to be using it, that land, as a better use. So that is very exciting. Okay, onto this neighborhood. I'm just walking down a random street. And one thing you're going to find in this neighborhood, it's going to be a lot of bungalows. There are a lot of newer builds popping up in this neighborhood. Like, look right behind me, cute bungalow, new builds right there, some craftsmen. So that's what you're going to get, is a mixture of some older bungalows. Now, I'm not going to lie, there are some bungalows that are in need of repair or just are a total tear down. And if you're wondering, if you're on the investing side, wanting to fix something up, teardowns are going to be under the $200K price point right now. Now, like I said, the median sales price in this neighborhood is around $315,000. I've seen a couple sales hit $525,000. Those were new builds, new construction, just over 2,000 square feet with either 3 or 4 bedrooms. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but that kind of gives you a range. And one other thing I'll say is, you get some pretty good, decent sized yards in the back of the house. The house size itself, you're going to probably, I would expect, anywhere in that 1,200 to 1,800 square foot range. So if you're looking for a mega mansion, you're not going to find that here in the South Atlanta area. But let me walk a little bit, show you some home examples. We'll go from there. All right, for my first home example, it is this home right here, and it was built in 2023. So this is a new build. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, just over 1,600 square feet. It sold for $375,000, and there's a big backyard. You could actually put like an ADU back there if you wanted to. It's a very open floor plan with luxury vinyl plank on the main floor. You got like dark cabinetry in the kitchen, carpets in the bedrooms, but pretty good sized closets too, from what I could tell from the listing photos. So there's an example of a home, you know, in that mid to upper 300K range. And side note, you know, there are some programs here in the Atlanta area. Some of them aren't in use right now. I don't know when they're going to bring them back, but if you go to investatlanta.com, it can tell you kind of the different loan programs out there, but some of them will give you down payment assistance. Now you have to qualify, and the purchase has to be in the city of Atlanta, and the purchase price has to be under $375,000. So if you're thinking, well, I don't have money for a down payment, there are programs out there. Again, I think they're like not in use right now. I don't know why, but I hope they come back. But that would be an option for you. So reach out to me if you want to know more about that. I can get you in contact with a lender that works those kind of programs. I want you to get into a house, basically, is the main thing. So reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. By the way, I should mention that, you know, if you are new to my channel or if you are returning and you want to know everything there is to know about living in the Atlanta area, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can follow along. Give this video a like if it's helping you out. But as always, you know, you can reach out to me and let's just discuss, you know, your living situation and some options for you. I would love to hear from you. I'm getting a lot of reach outs from you, and I can't wait to help more of you find a home here in the Atlanta area. As I'm walking up to my next home example, you know, I'm not gonna lie, you know, this neighborhood is kind of a street by street. Like, there's a lot of cute bungalow homes in here, and then there's some that are kind of in disrepair, need fixing up. But, you know, I think that's a lot of these neighborhoods. I mean, look at Kirkwood, look at Reynoldstown. At one time, those were kind of neighborhoods that were all scattered, and they're now a lot more put together. And I think that's what you're going to find in this neighborhood too, and it's going to evolve over time. But a lot of cute new builds popping up. Now I'm going to show you one here in a second. It's a 2-2, just over 1,000 square feet, sold for $299. Okay, and it has a huge backyard. You could definitely put an ADU back there, but right behind me here, super cute, right? That lawn is looking really good too. But it has like marble countertops, again, luxury vinyl plank flooring, but only it's an only 2-bedroom, 2-bath. But there you go, there's something just under the 300K mark. And yeah, I think this area is definitely one to definitely consider, especially if your budget is in that price range of, you know, 270 to 400K. There's a lot of cute bungalows in here, and I'm seeing a lot more new builds popping up here. Of course, they're going to be in the 500K range. So get in now, because, you know, as those big developments start happening, the Sawtell, the Terminal South, I think things are going to rapidly change for a lot of these South neighborhoods, like South Atlanta and its neighboring next door neighborhood, Lakewood Heights. That's for another video, but I think that one has a lot of potential too, because there's some great amenities in that neighborhood, which is what I'm going to talk about next year. But let me take a drive around this neighborhood so you can kind of get a feel for the streets, and then we'll go from there. Now I skipped a few streets over just across Lakewood Avenue. Right behind me, this is kind of roughly the area where that Sawtell development is going to be. So you can see that, you know, within a couple of blocks you are there. It's not that far, so that's going to be great for this neighborhood. And if you don't believe me about some new construction, I'm going to walk up the block, hang a right. I'm going to show you a bunch of new construction that is going up right there. So I think it's just the writing on the wall. Okay, I told you there's some new construction, and there's actually 2 more homes that are boarded up. I bet those are going to be gone and something new is going to go up there. Okay, that is pretty much the South Atlanta neighborhood for you. It's a little scrappy, but once you get inside the neighborhood, a lot of cute homes. And I want to talk about a few other amenities because, you know, there's not a ton in this neighborhood, but right next to it in Lakewood Heights, there's an amphitheater. I mean, I think Post Malone's going to be playing there soon, Snoop Dogg. So there's some big names that go and play over there at that amphitheater. There's a Lakewood Stadium, which is owned by the APS. It's one of the biggest stadiums in the city where football games are played. And then there is the South Bend Park, which that's where I'm going to go to next, just to show you another green space. It has a dog park, a pool, playground equipment. It's 70 acres. So I'll go show you that and then wrap up my tour of the South Atlanta neighborhood for you. Okay, so there you go. That is a tour of the South Bend Park. You got these nice little walking trails that I've been walking on. I'm actually coming up. There was a big storm that hit Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, just tons of rain, a lot of trees fell down, and here's the aftermath of one of those trees. It hasn't been picked up yet. So yeah, the South Bend Park, it does have a lot of amenities. I will say some things need a little upkeep, like the basketball, tennis courts, but you know, I think this is definitely an area that could change a lot, has a lot of potential. This is over in Lakewood Heights, again, just a couple miles south of the South Atlanta neighborhood. Lakewood Heights is another one I would keep my eye on. That will be for another video for next time, but I hope this video was helpful for you to get an idea of what it's like in the South Atlanta neighborhood. Again, great value for the location next to all of these upcoming things that are going to be happening in the surrounding area. So get in while you can. Like always, if you're thinking about moving to Atlanta and you need help with your home search, whether that's tomorrow or next year, make sure you reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. I am here to help you. And thank you for tuning in, and till next time. First, I gotta figure out how to get around this tree, and then I'm going to go drink a gallon of water because it's like 90-some degrees. Thank goodness there's a lot of shade in this park. So anyway, until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.